It's a Friday, so we're here once again. Myself on a rare day off from the decks. I'm joined by the lovely, the venerable DJ, Rousey.
It's a Friday, people. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in to TGM Radio and live on my TikTok. Shout out to you, Ashlaf, and everyone that's tuned in today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, it's
how are you doing?
As usual. I'm doing great.
Enjoying the summer?
Thank you. Yeah, it's actually really hot.
It is really hot and muggy. It's a bit different from the past few days, but yeah, we're good. We're good out here. We love the sun. We ain't complaining.
Yeah, it's amazing. We love the sun, the British sun.
So what you been up to for all the way from Scotland, we must say?
Well, my competition is still going on and it ends, voting closes this Sunday. So I'm expecting results.
Good results expecting?
Well, I'm not sure. For now, all I know is my mix is the most listened to, so
we hope the votes match. So please,
so
people, go to. How can they find out this link to vote?
Well, if you go to the link in any of my bios on my social media at Rawzi256, RAWZI256. Yeah, you'll find the link, and you can vote for me at the bottom of the page. Choose DJ Rousey.
Get voting. Let's push our girl to the top. Yeah, so obviously you're busy this weekend as well. What's happening with you? Where are you going to play? Where can people find you, if case they know?
Well, I'm here for the Good Money concert.
Good Money, we like that.
Supporting my boy Joe Gaia. Yeah, there's lots of amazing artists, young talent.
A lot of artists.
Before.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm excited to see what these people are up to, you know what they're
doing. It's good to kind of find out the new crop of artists coming up.
So if you're in London, come down tomorrow at Smade Lounge and yeah, support Ugandan music, support your fellow Ugandans.
I must say the artists performing are not only Ugandan.
Well, the concert is for Joe Gaia, although he has supporting acts from all over the UK. But yeah, it's
looks nice. Very interesting. So people go down and support. You know, and there's lots of stuff to talk about. But I must big you up for bringing me to the knowledge of Josh. Is it Joshua Baraka?
Oh yeah, Joshua Baraka. Joshua Baraka is amazing. He
was at Blankets and Wines, and he had those people feeding from his hands.
His performance was immaculate.
It was dope. I really loved it, and what it showed me that people are following his music, and it opened me up to the fact that people just don't only want. We're talking about the Kampala music market. They not only want the banging club music, but they're ready to listen and party to alternative sounds, of which Baraka is.
Yeah, that's true. But Baraka is a person of, like, his sound is different. He has a lot of different things. He has a new track which is kind of UK. It's like a grime beat, a UK rap beat.
So he's versatile.
Yeah, he's very versatile, and he plays instruments and does live music. He's very good.
I was expecting him to play some instrument at Blackens at Wines, but I don't know what happened.
But he did so well, to be honest.
In the clips that were shown, they were posted, he was just singing. But his singing was good anyway. And it was a massive crowd, but everybody seemed to be happy, to love the music. So yeah. Shout out to
it's really good for him, considering he started in 2020. I think that's when he released his first EP. You know, it's nice to have people that believe in you, you know, people that can back your dreams. And shout out to his management. You know, they're doing an amazing job with him, and yeah, I'm happy for him.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can only hope for better things to come to him. And what's new on the market? What new music have you got? What new music have you played in your set so far? Because I had a few new sounds. You're our plug for new music.
It's not very new, to be honest. Most of the music I've played so far has been music from last year.
So it's me that's behind.
Yes, you're behind.
Ah,
Oh, maybe.
okay.
Oh, there's a good song, Picky Black, but that's still from last year. So yeah. Oh, there is Izulu by Rickman. It's
That's old
a
as
bit
well.
new. It's like it's from this year. Like,
What are your thoughts on that? Because it didn't really resonate with me, that song.
it's different from what he does. So we have to credit him for stepping out of his comfort zone, for trying new things, and I think it was a good song. It was in charts, in the Ugandan charts, like for a while.
Okay. Well, some people think he's kind of dropped off the radar since his last hit song. Or well, were people expecting that his subsequent songs would be just like a bango?
Okay.
And what was the other hit?
There
He
was
had
that song
Nachi
last year
from the
that's
other time. He had
there's a
Nachi, he
very
had
good
bango.
song
He
too.
had something with Lydia Jasmine, which was a kind of mellow R&B tune.
Naya Tunyumire.
Tunyumire as well. So a lot of people were expecting to be in that kind of vibe.
No, but he's still doing so well, to be honest. Like, every once in a while I see a good song from Rickman. Like, also the people promoting him are doing a very good job. That his marketing team is doing so well. So
Do you think there's a little pressure from the Ugandan market for... I think it's just for club bangers. They just want club bangers because most of them rotate around the clubbing circuit.
well, yeah, there is not a lot of streaming music in Uganda, and if people are streaming it, it's illegally. So you would not really know how these songs
It's very
are doing.
difficult
You
to
know,
rate.
if they're not being pushed enough on like Apple Music and these big platforms, then we would not really know how well they're doing in the country, because there is all these illegal sites you can get music from, and there is all this point that villagers listening to this music, and
You
don't
can't
really know
quantify
where
it. You can't
yeah.
put any data. But yeah, shout out to Rickman. I think he's performing. He performed at Comedy Store this week, and yeah, I think his performance went out well. What else is
Nice.
in?
So I think I brought some new music, but yeah, I think I'll be playing it a bit later on in the show.
Okay.
Some good tunes. Ugandans are doing well.
What else is going on is that the Commonwealth Games are happening right now.
Okay.
I think a Ugandan has already... Some Ugandan has beaten. I forgot. Sorry, I should be knowing. Should be dispensing information now. But I saw the news just as
I can't even remember the name of the person that won something. But
yeah. I mean,
there was
in the
Ugandan
boxing,
that did well.
Uganda has advanced against Northern Ireland. So somebody went, advanced. We'll get you the details later because I saw the news as we're just coming on air. Our colleague, our producer Ken, is out there, but he's watching the Rugby Sevens Ugandan team. He's connected like that to rugby. So he's out there. We hope he'll be giving us some updates.
Where are the Rugby Sevens? Where are they?
They're in Birmingham as well
Ooh.
for Commonwealth.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, first time they qualified for Commonwealth, so it's a big thing. But I don't think the Ugandan community here is a rugby loving community.
Yeah,
They
that
don't
makes sense.
resonate with rugby. Football, yeah. So if we had a football team around, that would be different. But yeah, Rugby Sevens are here. So are Kenya's Rugby Sevens as well.
Well, I heard our team didn't do well today.
Hmm.
So yeah.
But when
They
it
were
comes to
beaten by
Commonwealth,
Kenya, I think
by who?
by Kenya.
Oh, obviously. When it comes to rugby, Kenya are bosses. And you got England, you got Ireland, you got Canada, you got Australia. Like, I don't expect much, but for them having qualified for the games is good enough.
That's
First step.
very impressive.
It was like when we had the athletes start to qualify for these kind of big games. Now we started winning medals. Incidentally, Kipro, what's his name now? The Olympic gold medal winner. He won't be Cheptegei, I think, is
The
he?
one, the recent one.
Yes, Cheptegei.
Yeah, I don't remember the name.
Yeah, he's not
So
coming
it's a
to
few
Commonwealth, so
ones.
no gold medal. Well, let me say our best medal hopeful is out, but Kip Limo is in. I think his brother or cousin or something. So yeah.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed for our team. Hopefully, something good happens for
Yeah,
us.
fingers crossed. Now, Azawi had a concert last week.
Oh, as always, concert.
It was held up to rave reviews, and I must confess, I put up a very, very strong argument in the previous Kampala Drive shows with Ken, who was one of the staunchest Azawi fans. But at the time, consensus was that Azawi cannot put up a concert. I think at that time she had just come out like let's say, because Azawi is a lockdown artist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2019. That's
Yeah.
a bit before lockdown.
When
She
was
blew,
lockdown?
Like mostly during
Well,
lockdown.
2019 she had one song, Queen Nimino.
Yeah, but then she released an EP around.
That
the
came
same
during
time.
COVID.
Oh.
Yeah. So at that time there was no way they could promote her on the ground. So a lot of people, including myself, thought she can't hold a concert, a proper big concert.
Well, I think that worked out well for her because look, she was the first female Ugandan artist on that.
Yeah, I think
or something like that, and
a lot of effort was put into that promotion. But the concert was beautiful. Really, it was nice, and
That's
the
her
music is. I think most people are describing it as international.
yeah, her music is really good. Her sound sells itself. Because
Yeah.
I've seen people ask if Azawa is Ugandan. There is people that don't believe that she's
Mhm.
Ugandan because, her music sounds a bit like a Nigerian artist.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel she's.
So
really good.
she's managed
she's
to
versatile too.
get that
So,
Africa-wide kind of flavor, which is trendy right now. Afrobeats is trending even better than most other genres. Really, it's better than dancehall, R&B, and hip hop. So
that's true.
good luck to her. And hot off the heels of that, Swangs have announced the concert for Winnie,
Oh, Winnie, I love Winnie. I would love to see Winnie in concert.
and that's coming. When's that coming?
That's 9th September. I
9th
think
September.
on Independence Day. Oh no, 9th September. Is not
And
Independence Day,
on
my bad.
Monday, after Zawi's concert, Swangs Avenue, which is the label, her label, and Winnie's label, they put up the post and said, "For we don't just make concerts, fwa." So it was kind of like aimed at the naysayers who thought Zawi's concert might flop, or
Yeah,
people who
that's
thought,
true. And
why Azawi before Winnie?
I saw a lot of criticism for her concert. Okay, not too much. It was more praise than criticism, and I was so disappointed in Galaxy for what they did. Like that was very
Yeah,
wrong
it
of
was.
them. It gave them a very bad impression, and that was not nice at all.
I'm starting to kind of understand Galaxy, because what they do is news gathering,
Okay.
but they are a public. If they were a newspaper, I would say they are a tabloid, a bit like the Sun,
So like a
their
gossip thing.
gossip. Basically, it's a gossip station. So they'll go to the extremes. They will twist any news towards something that's raunchy. You can see when you watch the programs, you can tell what they're up to. Yeah. So they will. Well, they said they were documenting the show chronologically.
Yeah, how come they didn't post the rest of the show? They only posted that bit, and then suddenly their cameras were died.
Their cameras died, and then the cameras came back to life when Winnie was on stage with her outfit. So, but that's what they do, Galaxy. And understand what they're doing is they are trying to get talking points, because you will always talk about Galaxy's posts, social media posts. You will talk about what they said on their shows. You will always talking about Galaxy. And thumbs up to Dr. Innocent Nahabwe, who is the director of Galaxy. I think he's a professional at what he does. He's a good marketeer. So it's a bit nasty, but who said the game was clean? That's what they do. So you can take the information with a pinch of salt. You always know what to expect from them.
Well, we're not here to judge.
We are here to judge, and we're judging Galaxy. They're nasty, but so is the business. It's the business nasty. So yeah. So I think we'll get back to some music, and we'll come back. A lot's happened. We'll come back and talk about Winnie. She's got something to say about street kids.
Which is okay. I support her very much.
Yeah, I mean, if you had an encounter with Kampala's street kids,
like
I don't. By the way, I don't think anything's exaggerated.
No,
she was quoted. She was quoted.
No, if you see that headline, you think, oh, Winnie's.
Yes, but it's a headline. But same thing when I saw her post last night. I was like, oh, but she's just speaking a lot of people's minds.
Exactly.
So I have no problem with the headline. So we'll come back and talk about Weasel's baby mama. It could spark we'll come back and talk about it. Domestic violence.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in. And here's a new one from Mudra. Not very new, but yeah. Just enjoy the music break. Thank you for tuning in.
KLA Drive, 7 p.m. to every Friday on TGN Radio UK. Mulungi nga tekalina watu wafuna kalimu notulemesa bakugoba nawo nonyakiddako ffe tulina the blessing me love me my fire to mix it I'm feeling the heart.
Joshua Baraka once again. I trust that is Joshua Baraka once again with APAS.
Yeah, that's Joshua Baraka featuring APAS. That's his. Yeah.
And before that, we had King Saha alongside Myth, or The Myth.
I know, it's called Eighth.
Eighth, yes. I was just going to say, I think Eighth doesn't get enough credit. I wonder if it's a promotion thing. He's a very brilliant singer. He's got the looks for the market, for the industry, but he's not moving. I know he produced an album, a video album sometime during COVID.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But he produced a few videos or songs, but yeah, I think he needs to be more on the circuit. Like, he needs to move about a bit.
Yeah, but I think he's doing really well. He's a radio presenter. He's an actor. He's doing so well with his.
So maybe he's just busy. But I think I would love for that music to circulate around a little more.
His management. I don't know who is managing him. To be honest, I do not know. Like, I have no clue. Yeah.
But anyway, before we went to the break, we was talking about Winnie Nwaji.
Yes, we
and her late night snap that said, I wish I could get it. Winnie Nwaji, where are you?
I think her snap had no problem. I don't see an issue with it. I would just slap.
Okay, okay. Where is she?
Well,
her snap. But do you know what? When I saw that, I thought, well, that's interesting. But again, typical Winnie. Like, she shoots from the hip. She says what she thinks. And this coming late in the night, we all know how cumbersome these kids could be. As much as they are society's problem, and we should be compassionate with their situation, we know they can be insistent on getting what they want. And they don't communicate well, especially if you find the ones that have just come into the city and they're coming from up country. Maybe they're coming from Karamoja. They can't speak the language or any language that's understood in the capital, and they'll just be like, hey! They won't say any words, but they'll be insist with their hands in your face. So it can be very annoying. But for a person in Winnie's position, should she express such sentiments? Well, basically she said, Olumunja kuba or street kid inze. And you could tell that she was really, really, really angry.
Well, it's Winnie. What did you expect?
To think before she snaps.
No.
And not snapping in like breakdown, but putting this. You know, social media, the moment you do anything, people are gonna take screenshots or video record this. So Winnie is in her position. Winnie should be saying things like, "We should find a solution for street kids." Yeah, she shouldn't be saying "Jacobo mwana." You can't be saying that. If Winnie was, you cannot. Like, okay. If she was in the UK, for example, if she was a UK celebrity, sports person, artist, and a beggar or any street person like rubbed you up the wrong way, and you tweeted that kind of thing, say I must slap one of these street people, homeless people. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the furore that would result from that? Loss of endorsements, cancellation. We are in the cancel culture right now.
We say that tabloids in Uganda is Uganda's version of cancelling, maybe. Yeah, and the fact that she hasn't been cancelled, it tells you that yes, sophomore actually is your fellow Scotland dweller. One of us dwells in Scotland. Don't know which city. Is she in Edinburgh? Or she told us last week. I can't remember. She's on Instagram. She's called sophomore.uk. What was my train of thought? I was like, the fact that she hasn't been cancelled yet, that sentiment resonates with other Kampalans. People do not like street kids, but they don't come out to say what Winnie said. Well, they say they just don't have the platform that Winnie has.
Oh yes, and that's what we're talking about. If somebody in her position, and I think she doesn't realize. I think that's the thing I've come to accept now. Winnie, and to a certain extent Sheba, they don't realize their position that they've got.
No, they realize, they just don't.
Or they just don't accept that they have that position.
No, they don't. They don't care, to be honest. Like,
because I tell you what, if Kenzo had said such a thing, we would be saying goodbye to his career. Okay. Trust me. And Kenzo is one that's been out to help street kids. Kenzo comes from the street himself. Okay. Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is that Winnie, we know we all think certain things. I think this is time now that maybe she shouldn't even be handling her social media.
Why not?
She shouldn't.
Snapchat is private, it's personal.
Well, if it's private, then I saw it. Why did I say it if it's private? Do you, Rousey, do you accept that statement was wrong?
No, I don't see any problem with it, to be honest. I didn't see a problem.
Would you put out a statement just like that? Would you?
I would. If they got on my nerves, if I was pissed, if I was quite angry, I would do that. I don't expect anything less from anything less or more from myself. So I don't blame Winnie at all. I don't see anything wrong with what Winnie did. I see no problem at all. I see a lot wrong. Because next thing you're gonna be asking the public to come and support your concert. Okay. Yeah. The street kids are not paying for the concert.
I know they're not, but they could
Could what?
They could ruin your concert. We've heard of. I think the other week there was Club Dome. It's where they where was it? In one of those Lugogo grounds, where they have a big tent in the shape of a dome and they just make it a club. Apparently, it was attacked by goons. And what's it called now? Is it called checking, or they call it okuisa mwegali?
Oh, like thieves.
Yeah, they come in and they used to. It's like hazing. Kids used to do it here on the London bus, night bus, where they come into a bus and go upstairs and they rob everybody. So the same thing happened here. Of course, Club Dome has a VIP section. Apparently, Muhozi was in there with these SFCs. But there's the public section, general happiness, where they have no real security. So these goons got in and cordoned off an area and emptied people's pockets. If they got your wallet and you're still wondering what's happened to my wallet, they would slap you and say, bring the phone as well.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
But I also heard that at Azoe's concert there was a lot of robbery in that.
Yeah,
VIP
there's
section.
a lot of robberies.
Actually, all the concerts that happened over the weekend, the VIP section mostly.
You basically can't go to a concert in Kampala with anything of value. You shouldn't.
Yeah, that's
But what
true.
kind of
It's really unsafe.
yeah? So these street kids and eventually street adults, eventually thugs, burglars, murderers, it's a growing problem. And people with a voice should be talking about solutions, like, or suggesting solutions or something thought-provoking that will make the powers that be think about solutions. A lot has been said about these Kampala street kids. The ministers have said we're going to round them up and take them back to their places of origin. That's not a workable solution because they actually are sent to Kampala by their benefactors. Somebody runs that racket.
Oh, yeah,
Somebody
that's
sends
true.
them to the streets to collect money
I've heard stories
for their
about
benefit. So it's a deeper, I could say it's even thuggery, it's a cartel.
that. Ah, yeah, that does make sense.
So we cannot just breeze over that thing. Like, njakubo mwana, but well, if you smack the kid, then how is that solving the problem? In fact, you might die from that.
Oh, yeah.
I had a friend that was like,
Mob justice.
yes, who was drinking in Wandegea, and we all departed them days. So this guy walks into downtown to get a taxi home, public means, and he was surrounded by kids. And he thought he was high, so he thought, not me, yeah, I'm gonna fight back. He received the beating of his life. He said he kicked a kid, but the kid had some things, sticks or whatever. You know, like the footballers' shin guard.
Yeah.
This boy had sticks. So when my friend tried to kick him, the kicker got hurt instead. So you smacking this street kid can provoke 50 of them to come on,
Oh, yeah,
and run
maybe
up on you.
Maybe they planned it or something.
Obviously, what I'm saying is they're there. They're never as individuals. These kids, they never come to you as one person. Yeah, there will be a group of them. So smacking them or threatening to smack is not a solution, and she shouldn't propagate. And that's why I accept that a lot of people think it, but they don't say it.
Well, it's quite sad what's happening in the country. You know that the level of unsafety. What's the right word for it? Like, I can't phrase. I can't find a way to phrase it. But like, it's really not safe.
It's not safe at all.
And people are getting robbed. People, like it's really bad. More armed robberies, people are getting beaten up, people are getting killed by armed robbers, and it's really sad. Maybe pray for the country. I don't know
Pray.
what the solution could be.
You remind me of
What can we do?
you remind me of some people in authority. They said I think they held prayers today to pray for corruption to go away.
Is that in Uganda?
In Uganda,
still?
yes, they said let's come together and pray for corruption to be
Man,
like.
you know, Uganda is
but
actually
if-
a
if-
movie. It could,
If
you
you're
only
in
tell
position,
someone.
if you, I've made you Inspector General of Government to fight corruption, and you're organizing prayers, you failed.
When you-
If I am the appointing authority, I would sack you the next day because. But
Yeah,
anyway,
that's true.
well,
Uganda is actually not a real place.
so
to
for
be
more
honest.
agrees with me. She says, I guess if she was here, she'd have been cancelled. Definitely. People in Uganda don't know how to use platforms. That's true. Homeless people here are run by a gang. What do you mean here? In Uganda? I thought it was in UK.
Maybe.
But in Uganda,
Yes,
definitely
that's right.
homeless. What? Homeless people here are run by a gang. I think in Uganda, definitely in Uganda, the kids, the street kids,
Yeah.
they are run by somebody.
Well, because in the night they sleep somewhere. Like,
Yeah, and somebody brings them down from their rural homes. So that's what it is there.
well, did you watch the interview where the mayor, the Lord Mayor,
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
got slapped by what's this?
By a
position
spokesperson,
of the government?
government spokesman or spokesman of the government. What's it called? In Uganda,
The
they've got
ruling party. Is that-
not just the ruling party, but they've got a media outlet for the government that puts out information about government decisions and cabinet decisions. So the spokesman for that, they had the usual spat on TV, but it's kind of escalated, and they kicked the mayor off the studio set.
Oh, they did kick him
Yeah.
off. Because
Ye-
I didn't watch the whole thing.
Well, I
So
think the
should
cameras
we-
got shut down. The show was stopped right there. But when somebody stands up, you're having an argument on TV, and somebody stands up aggressively and moves towards you. That's threatening. The guy is a mayor, for God's sake. I mean, a little bit of respect. But on these shows, they always trade a lot of barbs. So it was somebody's sticking point. And I'm not condoning the behavior, but
So you want to say he saw it coming, or you should have seen it coming?
well, I
I
don't want to
think
go
we
into the
just leave
politics
that
of it,
topic,
but
maybe. Maybe
politics
let's-
is always the people get hot-headed,
Yeah.
and this guy, mayor's party, had just lost an election on the night, so maybe it was the wrong timing, and a lot of allegations of election malpractice was being thrown around all day. So I think by the time they got the studio, everybody had had enough of the day. So it was a tipping point. But talking about vices, you know what? This half of the year just seems like celebrities behaving badly in Uganda.
Every year, it's
But
not
like-
the first year that it's happening. Like, it's
You know what I mean? By
year.
every week we come here and say this happened, that happened. Now,
No, but the
Mr.
tabloids
Weasel
are also
out
not
of
helping.
Radio and Weasel, Good Life, yeah,
Oh,
and his baby mother, his baby mama, former Miss Rwanda.
how many baby members does
He's
this
got
guy have,
enough.
though, to
If
be
he's got
honest?
enough, that's the top. Well, that's his life anyway. But he's brought his life into our lives.
Oh,
So he's gone and smacked the hell out of Miss Tita Sandra, who's his baby mother. Apparently, well, the news says he's done this because she comes home late, but she's a hostess, a club hostess. You know, these nights, these booming nights nowadays.
So he let her be a hostess, but won't let her come home. Like,
What do you mean
what?
late?
I don't get it. Like, what?
Well, he knows the kind of. He probably disapproves of the work she does, or he's probably just
Overprotective.
insecure is what I would call it.
Yeah, probably.
Because when your partner or significant other works late in the night, comes in the early mornings, you don't know what's happening over there, you're worried, that could translate into anger.
But he's working overnight as well. It's not like he's any different.
Yeah, and I think that's the issue of what's good for the goose should be good for the gander. But he's not seeing it that way.
Okay.
This is not the first instance of violence from Mr. Weasel.
What did she say though?
Now,
what's her side of the story?
Obviously you lot cannot see, but we got a picture here. Well, our producer's not here, so they can't zoom in. Oh, we can't zoom the picture in. But she's beaten black and blue. She's swollen, and she's got black eyes, swollen face, swollen mouth.
Her face looks broken, to be honest.
Yeah, she looks like she's broke some bones on, her cheekbones. But when this picture surfaced, obviously they were all over social media yesterday. An account that's accredited to her says that, well, it wasn't Weasel that beat me up. It was I was beaten up by goons while coming from work in the early hours of the morning.
Okay.
So now Weasel has got this screenshotted that page and shared it on his page and said, no comment, case closed. So he's like, you see, that it wasn't me, it was, but everybody knows. Everybody, it's just clear as day and night.
Yeah, but maybe she was actually beaten up by some goons. Maybe it's actually a rumor, and give him the benefit of doubt. To be honest,
okay, yes.
I don't know. Do you guys believe?
Why do I not believe it? Because remember, not very long ago, Weasel beat up some guy that was working for him with a golf club, broke his ankles. The guy was hospitalized, and it took the diplomacy of families and consultants and whatever, to calm the boy's family down. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know he has a history of violence, but
and his family, like Weasel's family, has now got the black mark of being very violent on occasion.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because his big brother occasions a few slaps on even his managers or anybody in his camp. So there's been a growing list of cases of instances like this.
Well, it's quite sad and
it is
this is happening, and if he did it,
I think you're being very kind to him.
We'll never know.
You're being very kind.
If he didn't do it.
And considering that Uganda is again a society where domestic violence is very prominent, and a lot of those cases never get resolved because many of the times people blame the woman. They say you shouldn't have answered back, you should have listened to your husband, you should work within the hours that your husband wants you to work, again, I think we need to, but for whatever reason it was, okay, if it was goons, again, it takes us back to the
crime rate.
The crime rate and street kid stuff, because these are people who are less privileged, that they end up having to rely on crime to survive.
Oh yeah,
but if it was,
her life could actually be in danger.
Yeah, definitely that her life was in danger. I mean, there's a post again which we can't show you now. I think we should have prepared better, But there's a poster that says "Stop Violence Against Women," and it says, "Let's put an end to Weasel's domestic violence."
So how do they plan on doing that?
I don't know, and there's no organization. You know, one of those things that just come up on social media. It's like pray for Paris, pray for whatever city that's in trouble. Nobody
does anything.
Like there's no
big
particular organization. But the fact that I said that let's put an end to Weasel's domestic violence, it's referring to the cases, the previous cases that have been attributed to this gentleman. And these issues have gone as far as Rwanda, because like we said, Tita, the lady in question, is a former pageant winner of Miss Rwanda. I forget which year, but the people there are saying kumbuga nkora nyambaga abantu bakomeje kusaba ambassador. Well, they're saying on social media in Rwanda, people are raising their voices to the ambassador of Rwanda in Uganda to get involved with this case.
Okay.
Yeah. So way over there in Rwanda, people are worried that their girl might lose her life. Like, ambassador should come in and you know, try to save a citizen who's living abroad.
Yeah, that's
And Rwanda and Uganda shouldn't even feel like she's living abroad.
yeah,
'cause-
because it's quite similar.
Yeah,
like,
it's like a Ugandan feeling at risk in Nairobi to somebody who's their partner, by the way. So that's what's happening, and as usual, these cases will be denied, like they have been denied in the past, but everybody knows. Okay, there's another picture of Weasel and his kids at the bar where the girl works, and
doing
people,
what? And when was
I
that
really don't
taken?
get that, but either it was Weasel's protest that the woman's never at home, so I take the kids to her workplace. But it's a bit dramatic. It's a bit dramatic because it wasn't her first day at work, so they should have worked out a kind of situation of how they're gonna be
working around.
working around the woman having to work. And somewhere, not here, but somewhere on social media, there were claims that, okay, Weasel's not making enough money, that's forcing the woman to now have to work.
Well, it makes sense. Even if he was making enough money, you don't expect her to sit at home
Exactly,
the whole time.
yeah,
And
I
she
think-
knows she has the potential.
But that
to do-
is now we have to get into the Ugandan mindset, which believes that if your man's making a lot of money, as a woman you don't need to work. That's the patriarchal society that Uganda is, so it's difficult to erase that mindset. Even among a lot of people have their pretty wives and they tell them to sit at home, stop work. Even if they found them, like, say the couple met at work, once they get serious, the man will say, because he knows how he got this woman, there's other people at work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now think about the people in the entertainment industry. They know what goes on. Weasel himself is,
That makes sense.
Do you know what I mean?
He knows how he got his woman.
yeah, so that's a sad situation, but that's a trending topic.
Well, as Weasel said,
Mm.
no comment. Case closed. Because what else can we say about it? What can we do?
I won't be surprised if a few organizations come up, because sometimes there's a lot of there's a few women's organizations which come on and stand up for people.
Well, hopefully
But-
they do.
But again, this star factor, celebrity factor comes into place, and cases are quashed. But again, that keeps women in danger, because if no case is ever solved, people will continue to batter their wives and girlfriends.
Well, the laws are not very strong too, so maybe we could.
I think the
law
laws.
goes back to the
I
system.
think the law is strong, but yeah, if you say the system, then I agree. Enforcement of the laws
Yeah,
is
the
not
whole
strong
system
enough,
is rigged.
and somebody can easily get away with it. Sophomore again says, domestic violence is considered a family issue in Africa. That's it. People say that's their family matters. I can't get involved. That's domestic. But in the UK, people now get involved in domestics. Your neighbors will report. Even a loud argument, they'll
As
just
they
report.
should.
Yeah. Why are men biased about high-earning women? It's a complex. Yes, men are intimidated by independent women.
And yeah,
So-
it's quite sad, but it's the reality.
And remember, we're still kids of an old generation. Because our parents behaved in a certain way, and their
mannerisms.
yeah, they're still in with us.
Yeah, that's true. So a lot of people are traumatized.
Sometimes even you see over here, if you tell your girlfriend to shut up, somebody can pull you up on that and say that's violence.
It is. It's
In Uganda,
emotional
it's not.
violence. It's.
In Uganda, that's not considered violence. People like Sirika, like say I'm
You're not supposed to raise.
a guy will be out with his mates and his girlfriend's there and their girlfriends are there, and she brings up a point and say Sirika, and everybody will go on like it's normal, and that's violence.
It is
But because we're still,
a bit backward.
that's the word. Well, sophomore, I love the way sophomore debates with us here. She says, my mom earns 20 grand more than my dad, and they both earn well. So what's the situation? Is your dad like cool with it, or does he, has he got issues with it? Let us know. Yeah, but I think we will go back to the music. Today it's only me and myself, Ivan, and DJ Rousey all the way from Scotland. Do you know I can't do the Scottish accent?
No one can. It's quite.
Even you
I
can't?
don't think you should try to.
I shouldn't try, because if I try, I'll end up doing the Irish accent.
I know it's it's not the best accent ever, to be honest. Like, yeah, it's quite disturbing, which is sad.
Yeah.
But,
So, are you playing anywhere tonight after here?
not really. I may end up at VBO. but
Okay. Unplanned escapades. But yes, we'll get back to the music. Obviously, Sophomore shared her thoughts with us, and we appreciate. Okay,
Well,
she says we get the money in the family and we're all happy, so there's no beef in the family.
that's good.
I'd like to come and live with your family, because you people seem to have it made. Yeah, because she ain't told us how much her dad earns, but she said her mom
really
earns 20
know
grand
how much
more,
her dad earns.
so her
At least
dad
they're
could be
doing well.
earning like 60 grand a year. That's the kind of family. Can I marry you, Sophomore?
Well, at least they're doing well, and that's
Yeah, they're
all
doing
that
well, but-
matters. So
Yeah, I mean, again in Africa, I think the issue of finances is very, very important, because the lack of wealth.
reminds me of that conversation we had of the man's house the man that broke down the house or something.
Yes, yes, the
ruined
guy,
his house.
broke up with his
In
wife
Ghana,
or something of so many years, and decided to break down the house they had,
Well, that was
because
really
he didn't want the wealth to go to the woman, or didn't want to split it, so he thought, let's all lose it. Sad.
So what's
But
with the land now? The land, and how is that going?
I don't even
You know
know.
what? Yeah, let's.
Because we never followed back, we didn't follow that story up. We were all upset at that situation.
Yeah, it
but-
was long. It was a long argument about that. And
Boy.
yeah.
Well, back to the music, and this is going to be our last episode for the night. DJ Rousey, take it away.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I have an EP from someone called Richard Sorge. I do not know how
What?
that's pronounced.
SORGE?
So
Soldier?
I can't
Soj?
pronounce it. I'm not sure, but yeah, I've had a listen, and yeah, you guys should tell me what you think after listening to this.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Hello, kulaboza kechiro yekwe bambi ambuzo tulo dota nawe tulya chekulo akukwata kukaba katiro join no manya we join no manya we join no manya
Yes, unfortunately, we've come to the end of the show. But just wanted to let you know we'll be back next week, but not on a Friday. We'll be coming on Saturday. Saturday, people. Remember, Saturday. The first Kampala Drive on a Saturday ever in our 6-year existence. Reason being is that we'll have a live band in the place. So that it'll be a special live edition with Chaser Vibes Band in the studio.
Where is Chaser Vibes Band from?
Chaser Live Band is from London,
Okay.
composed of a number of Ugandans.
What do they do?
They play live band music and they do renditions of the most popular music of the time. They do R&B, they do hip hop, they do Afrobeat, more Afrobeat than hip hop, I should say.
Okay. I've seen them do a few Ugandan songs and I was quite impressed.
So they will be here on Saturday, 6 p.m.
Where is the live show going to be?
Live show will be on all our platforms, Instagram, it will be on Facebook, it will be on the TGM Radio UK app, it will be on the website.
Will they be in studio or do you have?
They will be live in the studio, here.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's quite fascinating.
So from 6 p.m. till about 9 o'clock.
Yeah, that's nice.
So yeah,
Thank you so
we're
much. to
we're doing
everyone
it
that
in a
has
special way.
listened Today, it was very nice to have you, and yeah, we're glad you've been with us throughout the show. And yeah,
Is your mic on?
yeah,
Your mic's on. Yes, it's been a pleasure as usual having you, family from Scotland, and we're looking forward to another one. That is how we go out. Our time is up. Good night.